Welcome in to the channel, Tennessee podcast. It is September the 28th, 2025. The Vols go down to Starkville and barely escape, but they did escape with a win in overtime. We'll go through the positives and what needs to improve. Vols remain at number 15 in the AP poll for the third straight week in a row. A much-needed bye week is on deck. We'll take a look around college football. A lot of crazy things happen this week. I can't wait to talk about the college football landscape this week because it's going to be a fun one. But let's talk, my friend. Let's talk. But before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Southern Turf. It's turf time in Tennessee. Give my buddy Scott from Southern Turf a call for a free quote on your artificial turf needs, ranging from the backyard to the football field, putting green, and more. Scott has a solution at an affordable price compared to his competitors. Give him a call at 704-960-2651. That is Southern Turf. Well, let's talk about, dude. Let's get into this. Tennessee goes down to Starkville. You went. I did not. I stayed home and watched it on TV. While you went down there to hear all the cowbells in your face all game long. We'll start off with this. How was the trip to Starkville? I know my trips in the past, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. You have a different opinion. What is your opinion, my friend, my good friend, Austin Brown?
I did have fun. Okay, I didn't mean to make that anything else, but I did have fun. It's the town is very small. That is something I've always noticed about Starkville, or always heard about Starkville, Mississippi, and it was pretty obvious because we actually stayed in Tuscaloosa, which was an hour and 20 minutes out. But we stayed in Tuscaloosa. We drove in, and yeah, it's pretty much. I've been there for a basketball game. I don't know why it took me by surprise, but I guess I was just a little bit ago, and I guess it just when it happens again, it just hits you. It's like you're driving through nothing, and then boom, there's a whole campus there, and
Yeah.
it's a good little scene. It's a good little scene. The stadium ain't bad. It's a good little stadium. I mean, I don't mean to be so mean about it, but it's a good environment. It's good. It's all good. Cowbells though, oh, yeah, I guess everyone has their thing. I never want to hear another again for the rest of my life. I never do. I don't like them. I just straight up, as a person that has been going to football games his whole life without cowbells, I don't like cowbells. All right. And it was the most Tennessee fans or the most away fans everyone told me they've ever seen at that stadium. And yet the cowbells still annoyed me. There was still much a cowbell annoyance. By me.
It's quite the scene, though, for real. I've been there for when Tennessee played in 2012. Tennessee lost that game, of course. Very loud inside of there. Went there randomly with some buddies to watch Auburn play Mississippi State when Mississippi State had Dak Prescott and went to number 1 in the country. And I've been there a third time for a wedding. And let me tell you, right off the bat, Austin, you know that there is literally nothing but fields, and then you run into campus. It's nothing. There is nothing there. There's no way people live in that town and have fun. There is no way. There's nothing to do. No. You have a walk-ons restaurant, I think, and like a little tiny strip place with some bars and some restaurants, and that is it. And maybe like a Dollar General. I mean, that is literally it. And so as far as college town goes, it's not very good. Game day atmosphere, I had fun. So can't really knock them there. And the last time I went, their fans are really, really nice.
They are nice, though. Everyone I met was super hospitable. Mm-hmm. Everyone was so nice. They are way better than a lot of fan bases. Let me tell you, if I had to rank them on terms of how nice they are, I'd say there's the only one that I noticed was a bit nicer, or not nicer, but just, I mean, they were just awesome. Was Oklahoma. Those people were just very awesome. Like it's not really about like, oh, these guys are mean or something, but it's like I just those people were freaking awesome. I'll always have Oklahoma as number 1 in terms of how much fun I had as a visitor. But even then, I mean, what I don't get is some people like to generalized fan bases by one person. Like, I always hate these people that are like, oh, Tennessee fans are the worst. And I'm like, I ask them what happened, and it was like a story about, oh, this one guy did this. Well, guess what? Every fan base has that one a-hole. Okay, a guy at that stadium got in my face, said, "You look like an idiot," and just walked away. And I was like, well, I know, I have mirrors. Thank you. Um,
I wake up every
I
day.
love the fact that a guy got in my face and said that, and I'm like, well, that kind of seems like an idiot thing to do, but okay. But and um,
Other than that,
but I'm
how
not judging the fan base on that one
yeah,
interaction though.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
like only times I'd make judgments on like the whole of the fan base, and like the only ones that get an F for me are Florida and Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Florida gets an F. I give Ohio State a super F. Like if I didn't get murdered, that's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
But
Posty 25 on YouTube. Starkville, the town was great and honestly underrated in my opinion. I agree. Starkville that we're going game day. I enjoyed myself when I went there. He said the Cowbells, Massiville. I think we can all agree on that. And every fan outside of that fan base of Mississippi State Bulldogs would they were the only ones that would agree that the Cowboys were fun.
okay, should it be allowed? I understand. Like this has been a. I feel like we are casual to this or something because we don't play there often, and we're suddenly the vocal people saying, "Oh, this shouldn't be allowed." But I will say it is stupid that
It
you
is
know
stupid.
that like one fan can sound like they are freaking 20 and that's allowed because here's the thing though, here's my thing. If Tennessee fans started doing that, if every UT fan brought a freaking cowbell to Neyland Stadium, it would be illegal the next day. Let me tell you, friend, there is not any chance in hell they will let us get away with that. There's any chance in hell Georgia would get away with that, Alabama, Florida. I do think it's a Mississippi State thing because they, you know, don't have the best teams usually. Let's be honest, and that's why it hasn't been a pressing issue to get rid of it. And it was illegal for a while. And Mississippi State just constantly got fined because the fans would still do it, but they made it legal again in 2010. Yes, I do my research. Thank you. And but it is kind of crazy. And technically, every SEC school is allowed to do this. So
Mm-hmm.
they better hope no other ones catch on to it because it'll be illegal the next day.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into this. Tennessee wins by a touchdown and an extra point. Win by 7. The line was 7.5. Correct? I think Vegas had it at 7.5.
Opened at 9.5, and I think the final line was 7.5. Yeah.
Yes, 7.5. So Tennessee wins by 7. Uh, it, I I have never in a long time said that many cuss words, screamed that amount at the TV in a very, very, very long time. That game was. I had so many heart attacks during that game. So many moments where I was frustrated. So many moments where I was happy and glad, and pissed off, and glad, and pissed off, and mad. There was so many moments in that game. But the most important thing of what happened is Tennessee came out with the win. And there's two sides to this that fans are going to say. And I'm gonna agree with both sides on this. If you go down to Starkville, Mississippi, you go down to a hostile environment. Those fans are 4-0 for the first time since forever. It seems like since like Dak Prescott or something like that. 4-0. You have a 3-1 Tennessee team, top 15 team in the country coming in there. You have the two best offensives statistically, kind of in the SEC that are going head to head. You have Levy, you have Heupel. Those are from the same tree. They're best friends. They know each other they know their ins and outs. But man, that game right there, from just say an outside perspective, someone watching it from the outside, that was a game that people were just probably glued to because there was so much insanity going on in one game, from pass interference to officiating to coaching to big plays happening to defensive battles happening, line of scrimmage play, and it was so frustrating. And then till the end when Deshaun Bishop broke that run, and if Heupel did learn anything from this season, is He pretty much did what Georgia did to us in the final play of that overtime. Literally just did the exact same thing that Georgia did for their final plays in overtime on offense. Just ran the ball straight on that left side. Almost the exact same play. Almost the exact same play. Deshaun Bishop goes for a touchdown. Mississippi State tries to score. They don't. It's a tip. It's a tip ball. Falls. The receiver falls back into the end zone. Lands on the ground. The game is over. Tennessee celebrates. And you have two sides of the fan base of you went to a hostile environment, you won. The other side of the fan base is I'm pissed off because the way we won. And I'm pissed off of how we performed. I'm pissed off how we came out there and just did everything completely opposite of what we've done all season, which we did. We did some really off the wall stuff that we haven't done all season. We had receivers dropping balls that were just we had two interceptions off drop balls, off tip balls, two interceptions. And if you go look at Joey Aguilar's stats, he has 5 interceptions on the season. Only one of those is his fault. Only one of those interceptions is his fault. So you have those two sides of the fan base, and we're going to get to the positives and what needs to improve here in a second. But Austin, overall, your takeaway from that game, shoot.
Okay, overall, there's a lot here. Okay, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, there's a lot of everything in this game. But you know what? That team was 4-0. They got some good parts. They got some bad parts though. That we just played. It was a pretty hostile environment. Even though we had a lot of fans there. And you got to win. That's the most important thing. That is the most important thing. But we will get into this. There's a lot that I did not like, and I don't need to see again in that game. One thing I just want to bring up right off the bat: why didn't we run more? I
all you heard all you heard all week was how you could gash Mississippi State if you ran the ball a lot, and we didn't do that a lot at all. We didn't do that a lot
until the very. It's the only time. Yeah.
Well, we didn't do that at all until the very end of the game and into overtime, which was the only play we had in overtime, which was a run by Deshaun Bishop. A win is a win. Tennessee travel in Texas. Just comments from Twitter. A win is a win. Go Big Orange. Yes, there's that portion of the fan base that I'm talking about. A win is a win. You go down there, and we were talking about this before we got on the podcast. I was having lunch today, and I was talking to this older guy, and he was talking about how he's been a fan for 55 years. And I was telling him how, like, kind of the stuff that really ticked me off and made me mad. And then he looked at me, he goes, I've been watching football for 55 years. He goes, even some of our greatest teams, they do that. They've done that. Some of our greatest teams that I've ever watched, some of the greatest talented teams I've ever watched, they have struggled on an away game that they should have easily won. So winning in the SEC on the road, it is hard. It's very hard because if you look at the outside of Tennessee, and I'm not a guy that's usually like I don't look outside. I only really care about my own team, but I'm going to look outside the perspective on this one. You had 6 top 25 teams lose this weekend, and 4 of them were the top 10. So winning on the road is difficult. It's very hard. Alabama took care of Georgia on the road. I mean, that's very hard, very, very hard to do because Georgia had a 35-game winning streak or something like that inside their stadium, home winning streak. So it's very difficult to do. You ask Florida State, number 8 Florida State, who lost to Virginia on the road, and Virginia is not considered a very good team. So looking outside the box, yes, road wins are very hard to do, especially when it's a game that the other team is getting up for.
Road games can just be off the wall. You know, you really don't know what you're getting. That pass to Brazel, they called the pass interference on awful call. I think everyone knows that. Off the pass interference was not the case. I mean, he had the same play against Georgia, and you could argue that was even more egregious if you wanted to say he did any offensive pass interference. But that was a bad call, and you don't get that call in Neyland Stadium. There ain't no shot in hell he calls that in Neyland Stadium. So you get stuff like that. And just you're staying in a hotel. You're not. You traveled there. The vibe's just a little different. Maybe your focus isn't the same. There's a lot of variables that play into playing on the road. It's just a whole fish out of water kind of thing.
Yeah.
But which is why that can always be things can go awry. which is why being elite player and talent wise is so important because that's one bedrock you can always lean on in situations like that. And that's what Tennessee did. They eventually out talented them and pulled it out. But this is why I'll say this game, you, you were worried about this game, and I wasn't as worried.
I told you it scared me at the beginning of the week. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this game.
I
I feel
think
very on edge.
if we do not drop that punt, it's a whole different game.
Oh, the
And
game is completely different. And Josh Heupel was asked about that, about why Boo Carter was not out there filling those punts, and he kind of dodged the question every time. I don't know what went on, what happened, but Staley being back there, basically that whole scenario, just it changed the game because Tennessee comes out and they destroy Mississippi State's offensive line. I mean, they absolutely bury them immediately, and you're like, oh, this game's gonna be bad for them. And then you go 3-and-out immediately because we have me and you had Noah Guy. That's a Mississippi State fan. He goes, well, you better watch out. Don't let us get the ball first. Don't let us get the ball first. If you could let us get the ball first, it's gonna be bad. We're gonna score immediately. And they didn't. 3-and-out. They punt. And it just had shades of the LSU game, but we were LSU when we had that punt,
mhm.
the kickoff, and we recovered the kickoff. I was like, man, I was thinking that if we fielded that punt, it was going to be bad for Mississippi State the rest of the day because I guarantee you Tennessee would have gone down immediately and scored. It'd have been 7-0 in a blink of an eye, but it didn't happen that way. It was 7-0 in a blink of an eye after that punt was muffed by Brandon. It wasn't even muffed. It was muffed actually.
It just went through went through his
Went
hands.
yeah, went
Um,
through his hands.
the only thing that kept me calm at that moment was I thought to myself, well, we kind of started like this at Vandy last year and worked out. So I had that in my head, but there's always it's not you never want to start out that way, and it changes everything, especially when there's a large crowd with artificial noisemakers ready to go off at any time. Um, okay. It's just BS. Like I was yelling, and then one guy would be having a cowbell. It's like, oh, it's over now. There's no yelling. Sorry, just one more little rant about the cowbells. Well, let's go back to the game, okay? Just in my seat. Oh my gosh, dude. When all right, let's fast forward later in the game when we go down 34-27, just everything, the vibe, nothing in me said we were winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when we had that turnover and Lance Hurd had the roughing hitting out of bounds penalty,
Yeah.
that just they felt like, this is a loss. This is
You know,
this
you know how
these
many times
are
I said that.
these
You know
are the
how many times I said that. We're gonna lose. I said that at least 50 times in that game. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose.
oh, I knew we were losing. I felt like I
Yeah.
knew we were losing. I could not believe we won that game. I really could not because I there's a certain vibe of things. Like then again, I had this thing turn to me twice now. I really thought no matter what, we were winning that Georgia game. I don't know why. The whole time I thought that. And from the whole second half, pretty much, I thought we were losing to Mississippi State. I thought it the entire time. And then we won. It was like, wow. It's weird when that happens, isn't it?
Mhm.
When you already talk yourself into a loss the
Yeah.
whole time you because you need to mentally and like emotionally prepare for this. As a fan, you kind of you get yourself in that mode because when the rugs pull out from under you, it's the worst. So you got to kind of get that vibe of all right. Yeah, that's the drive back. Okay, that guy might get in my face. That's what it is. I'm stable.
Yeah.
I can handle this. It's my mission to get out of here without embarrassing myself. It sucks. I'm mad. I'm just mad. And then you win. It's just like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Thank God Almighty it happened. But man, then that's the vibe it was. Everyone in the Tennessee side because it felt like every 50-50 moment went against us, didn't it?
Yeah. Uh,
Maybe it's just
in a way, yes, but in a way, Tennessee made the plays. I felt like Tennessee made the plays when they had to make a play, you know. And people can say what they want of like Deshaun Bishop. He ran in the game the game winner. He ran it. He ran the game winner. But I'm going to tell you the single sole reason Tennessee won that game is because of one man. And Joey Aguilar in that final drive to tie it up to go into overtime was a man on crack. I have never when there was one play, I don't know if it was on that final drive or not. I don't think it was on the final drive. I can't remember. But when he was getting sacked and he threw the ball while he was like almost parallel and he threw the ball and made that play, I'm like, okay, we're gonna win this. And that the moment that Joey took us down on that final drive before we went into overtime was spectacular. Not just the drive to tie it up was spectacular.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
it was unreal to watch. He was determined. He made the plays. He made the throws. He did everything in his power to get Tennessee to tie that ball game. And it was magical to watch. That is a gamer if I've ever seen one. That dude hit that whole thing on his back and said, "Watch this." And Joey Aguilar, MVP of that game, no questions asked. Don't care about any other thing. You had all the great catches from Chris Brazzell, but Joey Aguilar single-handedly said, "Watch this. We are going to get back in this game and we're going to win it." And he is the reason Tennessee went down, scored, and then took that thing into overtime. Joey Aguilar, holy crap.
I agree totally. He was a freaking Titan on that play. Not a Tennessee Titan. That's very bad. But but he was a Titan like in Greek mythology terms on that freaking drive. He one that I do think though Brazel has to get all the flowers here or a lot of flowers here because holy crap that catch he had. Joey threw a lot of great passes. That was not the best ball he threw all day. That
On
was
fourth
going
down?
yeah away
Fourth
from
down?
Brazel, and
Yep.
I knew the catch was amazing in the stadium. I rewatched it on replay, and holy crap, that was just fingertips. It was not the palms of his hands. It was the very fingertips to where he got it in, and that was the game. At that moment, if you go on ESPN's like pro chances to win, uh, before that play, we had just I think a 10.7% chance of winning before that play, and immediately shot up. That was the play of the game, in my opinion. That was the only game. That was the only play where I truly felt like if we do not make this, it is 100% over. There's not a
Remember
shot.
remember when I sat here and said that he reminds me of a mixture between Baker Mayfield and Brett Favre. He gets out of the pocket like Baker Mayfield and does the dumb shit that Brett Favre does, but it works. It works. Brett Favre did that dumbest shit, but it worked. And
Hmm.
and and,
He's in the
and
Hall of Fame.
Joey's not scared. He's not scared of anything. Those two tipped uh, balls, Miles Kitselman. Miles Kitselman just had a rough day. He had a rough day, and
Yeah, we love you, Miles, but it was rough.
I'll give that guy a pass because Miles is that kid has done so much and he's really good. So give Miles a pass. It just wasn't his day. But those two picks, and I I told you that Joey has a memory of a freaking goldfish. He forgets in a matter of seconds of what just happened, and he just keeps playing. And he is so fun to watch. And he's going to make some crazy things, some crazy throws, some boneheaded things. But man, when it works, dude, it works. And it is so fun to watch. God, that's fun.
I really do love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
We're so blessed to have him on our team. That's the
Yeah.
word for it. We're
Yep.
just blessed because and you saw him praying with the chaplain after the game. This is the kind of guy you want leading your team. I feel good about him as our quarterback. Like not only is he like the kind of guy you want off the field, on the field he is a complete and utter psychopath who just wants to win. That is all. That's only thing in his mind. I mean, you could have like three guys trying to drag him down, but he's still trying to make that play. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to win that bad. This guy has
Mm-hmm.
fought through adversity. He knows like this is probably his last. This was his. Well, we his last really opportunity to make it big in football, and man, he is making it. He is living up to that. It's really awesome. He is the best story in college football. I don't care what anyone says. There is not a story better than his. And if he keeps playing like this, I mean, if he has a few more forms like this, if he could, I know
Mhm.
they looked good last night. I know they looked good last night, but if he could go in this into Tuscaloosa and play like that and beat Alabama, then he is right up there. He might be number one for the Heisman. I think he should be, especially with
Mhm.
Mateer going down like that. I really that dude is so awesome. And that's why. Okay, let's get into it. 2 minutes to go. We get the ball. The game tied. We have a run play for a few yards, and we'll let about 20, 25
And
seconds
what
drop off that clock for no reason. We have
was
four
it? Was it two
timeouts.
minutes? I thought it was like that was like a minute and five or something like that.
It was like minute 48, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, you're right. And that 20, 30 seconds front of the clock that we called timeout, it was baffling.
It's probably the worst just moment for me with Josh Heupel. I love Josh Heupel. I kind of I heard someone explain it later. He might have been thinking, oh, don't want Mississippi State to have any shot with the ball again. But I'm just like, go win the game, dude. I do. I don't know what it is. It seems like there is a lack of killer mentality. Here's the thing. I never saw it's like this wasn't the case in 2022 or really even last year that I remember. It's like
Yeah, I just
I wish he approached every drive the same way he approached that drive when we were down seven.
yes, and I was telling somebody this yesterday, and it's what 2021, 2022, like those things like that, where he just did not care. He he went for it. He was just so confident. And I don't know what's happened because you have a quarterback that is very confident right now. And maybe that he thinks that Joey might do one of those things, take it too big of a chance and cause a turnover. And I understand that. But when you had 19, let's go back to the Bama game of 22. When you had 19 seconds left to win that game, you won it in 19 seconds. 19 seconds, not a minute and 48 or whatever, how much time was on the clock. You had timeouts to use to spin, and that is my biggest critique of him since he started coaching here. That one right there, because the amount of times that I yelled and said, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm
I
like, go!" Like, I yelled it so many
I
times.
think the reason it's this season he might be showing that a little bit is because he does know Joey doesn't have a lot of fear.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't know what this guy's gonna do. He thinks he can make every play, and he does a lot.
yeah.
There is that time he doesn't though. And tied game late.
But
Maybe
even
but at the same time, the last time he had the ball, we were in that same situation, and what did he do? Got you in the end zone.
uh huh, you got to trust your guys. I mean, and I feel like he does trust his guys, but at the same time, where is that just balls to the wall fu mentality? Like, he used to have it. He used to not care. He'd go for it on 4th and 12 and stuff like that in the middle of a game. He would convert it. It's that I know that Josh Heupel has adjusted to this league, and he's done a pretty good job at adjusting to the league. And one other thing I want to talk about too, if we're critiquing some of the coaching right now, just in this game, I haven't really had much critique of the coaching. It's been fine. It's been fine. But in this game, did we do any hurry up at all? It seemed like it took us forever to snap the ball every time.
Is that proof that the cowbell's actually having an impact?
I don't know. I talked.
I felt
I
like
talked to.
communication was a little bit of a mess this game.
I talked to Josh from Collectible. Our buddies at Collectibles and More. He's one of Joey's pretty good friends. He said that Joey texted me and said the cowbells. It was really loud. He said it was super loud, and it really had an effect on the way they did things. So
Dude,
yes,
how is
that is.
that allowed? I'm okay.
I don't know.
Well,
No, here you go again. Here you go again.
I mean, I don't want to be like, okay, Auburn, Alabama, Arkansas, they've all been playing Mississippi State every 2 years there, and they haven't really sparked an uproar over this. And we're the
Mm-mm.
first time it's the first time we've been there. in 13 years, and we're suddenly like, this shouldn't be allowed. What the hell is this? You people live like this? It's like horses without kids or something. I don't know.
I have no idea what that even meant.
There's a joke. I forgot it though.
It's
But it's a little
you know how Jeep
our
owners
head
give up.
our pets' heads are falling off.
You know how Jeep owners give those stupid little rubber duckies to other Jeep owners. I feel like their fans just like leave little bells around on all the cars when they're like walking around campus. Like, here's a bell for you. Here's a bell for you.
Okay. My buddy Cody, Vault Bandit, he had a joke that it's the Mississippi rape whistle.
Golly,
Oh,
it's man,
they're good
it's
people. They are awesome, great people. Let me just say, I can be critical of you though. But this is a weird thing, okay, man? And if you're gonna get a lot better, I think Levy's a hell of a coach, and he might build something there.
dude. Levy's good, man.
He's great. He is great. Like I will
Levy's good.
say, you guys don't really have the we we have a better team than y'all, and we should have won this game out more. But he's a hell of a coach, and he schemed his way into that being a down to the wire game, and that's all props to him. He out schemed Heupel. He did. He should have won that game by the way he coached, but he didn't have the parts. I will say their backup left tackle, I believe, number 74. That man's one of the worst players I've seen on a football field.
Yeah, he's bad.
Holy
He was
crap.
bad.
Think
He was bad.
he is I mean, if we played that guy, if that guy was starting on every SEC offensive line, that Tyree West and Josh Joseph plays, they would look like NFL Hall of Famers. And that kid is bad. That guy is worse than Drew Richmond. I don't know. It's Drew Richmond's always my bar for how bad offensive lineman could be. Um, if you're listening to this, Drew, yeah. Um,
Sure he is.
sorry. Yeah, if Drew Richmond's listening to this. But
Okay, so what needs to improve? What needs to improve?
tackling.
What needs to improve before we go into Arkansas on this bye week, which we desperately need? What needs to improve?
Tackling. I've never seen that bad of tackling from
That was bad.
for one of the best run defenses in college football last season, maybe the best run defense in college football last year. That was absolutely disappointing to see. I'm very interested to see how Rodney Garner treats them during this bye week. It's not going to be fun. My expectations are that
Yeah,
it's not going to be fun in that defensive
it,
tackle room.
I tweeted this out. It reminds me of the 2012 tackling from the Dooley defense. Like they arm tackle, they were whiffing, and they haven't done this ever. Usually, Heupel's teams are pretty damn good at tackling. They wrap up, and one guy, and I will say that one guy that, and I want to get to Dalton Rowdy Bush's comment here in a second. That's on the comments page right now. One guy that does not have a problem wrapping up, one guy that doesn't have a problem at all on defense is Colton Hood. Colton Hood is just a man on fire. Like, he's Denzel out there. He is all over the place. If he did not make that tackle on that one play where that Mississippi State running back changed field, went the other direction, that dude is gone for a long gain. But Colton Hood came in there like a freaking bullet and just leg tackled that guy. He looked like Degum Eric Berry tackle. Like, that was an Eric Berry tackle. That's what Eric Berry used to do. Eric Berry used to never miss a freaking tackle. That's exactly how Eric Berry would shoot in there. That was a shades of Eric Berry for a second. I was like, oh my gosh, that was good. And even who's our play-by-play commentator? Why in the heck can I not remember this guy's name?
Ramon Foster?
No.
Mike Keith?
Mike Keith. That call is awesome. If you haven't listened to that call, when Colton Hood just shoots in there like a missile and tackles him, you go listen to it. It's great. Mike Keith's great, regardless. But what needs to improve? Yes, Austin, is tackling. And I want to get to this right here, Dalton Rowdy Bush. The receivers outside of Brazel need to improve. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, Staley had a rough day with that drop and the touchdown drop. He did make up for it a little bit on the third down catch where he had to plow forward to get the extra few,
That was good.
move the
That was
chains.
it. Was that was a
Uh,
tough boy play. But I
Matthews
would
also
say
dropped the touchdown. That he
Matthews dropped a wide open. It wasn't the most perfect throw. He had to look over his both shoulders to figure out kind of where it's at. Still should have caught it. You're a 5-star receiver.
that felt like
I,
a Jalen Hyatt like one where he's just gonna run
yeah,
away,
yeah,
and oh,
yeah.
that would have been awesome.
I can't complain too much about Mike Matthews because he had a pretty sure we had 200-yard receivers, and I'm pretty sure he was one of them. So you had Chris Brazel and then Mike Matthews. I think both had over 100 yards receiving. So I do agree with that, Dalton Rowdy, that the receivers do need to improve outside of Chris Brazel. But Mike Matthews is starting to improve pretty good throughout the season. But Staley needs to become more consistent, which he will. He's a playmaker. He's a really good playmaker. And uh, and Miles Ketselman just had an off day, so
Yeah, he
you
needs
can
to
fix
work with
those
the
things.
jugs machine. That is
Yeah, you can fix
that
those.
was a bad day, man. We've had three of those interceptions like that. In the past two games, we had one like that against UAB, where
Mhm.
that just pop up. The one against UAB, I've never seen a ball go that high from a pocket
God,
in my
that was
life.
really
It was like a freaking those rides at Six Flags.
mm-hmm.
It was amazing. But yeah, he has to work on that. That is a real issue. I mean,
Agreed.
it's not a real issue because I haven't seen it besides today or yesterday,
Yep.
but it's that can't be happening anymore. I don't
Mm-mm.
know why that's been a prevalent issue the past couple games, but
Well, I know
it's
some of
not fair to
Joey's.
Joey. It's not fair to Joey.
Well, I can't say, and I'm not putting any excuse on these tipped up balls. Joey did throw him a little high, but he threw it high for Miles Kitselman because Miles Kitselman is a tall guy. And he threw it up there to where only Miles could get it. So if you do end up tipping the ball up, it's going to get picked every time. So, but in those possessions or those routes that Miles Kitselman was running, you had to throw it high because those guys were around him. And he was throwing it high just so Miles could make a play. Didn't happen. Miles had a rough day. We'll forgive him because he doesn't have many rough days ever.
He had a few plays though, good plays.
He did right down the. He had a good catch down the field. They got a first down. Had a couple good plays, so it wasn't all bad for Miles, but it just wasn't his day, and that happens in sports.
He's always that
Okay,
safety blanket for Joey.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
whenever
Mhm.
like because he's so big, he can take. Um,
So we've
yeah,
discussed.
the tackling needs to improve. That's
Mhm.
probably number one. One guy I will say I didn't have any problem with, obviously, is Tyree West. That guy's a freaking beast. That guy is the back in like the Saban era in Georgia in 22. Those are the defensive linemen they kind of had. I love that dude. That guy's a beast.
One more thing I want to touch on before we move on to a look around college football. We've got Arkansas coming in. We kind of discussed what we need to fix before that. Tackling and some of the receivers need to hold on to the ball. Offensive line still playing pretty good. Defensive line played great. DB play, got to get McCoy back. We got to get those dudes back.
They didn't have a
Uh,
bad day though. I wouldn't
it was
say there was a few moments though were pretty bad.
it was yeah, but
I hate the big bust. Like we had like four or five big plays we let up.
mm-hmm. uh, but before Arkansas, those things definitely need to improve. But one thing I want to see more of is Caleb Herring. Caleb Herring had 2 sacks in a row.
Hmm.
You have got to play that guy more. That guy
I
needs
agree.
more snaps. That guy needs snaps. He needs them. That guy, every time he's on the field, he's destroying someone. And it was when was it Georgia? Was it the Georgia game? Kirk Herbstreit even said it. He's like, "Wow, that guy needs to be on the field more." Like
Hmm.
every time he was out there, it was just mayhem out there. So those are some of the things that they need to improve on before we go into
Aaron Carter
Arkansas.
had a hell of a game, but he needs
Yes,
this
he
off
did.
week. He needs this off
Yes,
week. He looks.
whole
Like, I've heard he's banged up right now,
the
and
whole team is.
he needs to rest.
I
He's
think the
so
whole team
quick. He is so
so fast.
quick.
Yeah.
He's elite, man. He will play a lot of Sundays.
I
Make
agree.
good money.
Oh Oh yeah, I agree. All right, let's take a look around college football. Close out this podcast. We got about 21 minutes left. Let's talk about the landscape of what happened yesterday. 4 of the top 10 teams went down. 6 of the top 25 went down. Tennessee was not one of those teams. So I guess you could say be blessed that Tennessee did not lose and be one of those top 25 teams because it was narrowly happened for Tennessee, but it did not happen for Tennessee.
I still can't believe we won that game.
I know that's what good teams do, man. Good teams find a freaking way to win. We've said it so many. How many times we would have lost that game in the past?
I mean,
So many
most.
times.
If you have,
Most.
I told my wife if we didn't get Colton Hood out of the portal, we lose that game.
God,
if we were one player short, we lose that game.
that guy's incredible. Colton Hood
Mhm.
is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Golly. All right. So let's look around. Where do you want to start? You want to start Alabama, Georgia? Did you think Alabama would go into Georgia and do what they did to Georgia? Is Georgia is Alabama Georgia's Florida like we have Florida? They see them and they just kind of lose. It seems like that now.
I feel like that's the way for Kirby Smart.
Yes.
I when he went for it on 4th down on his own 11-yard line or whatever it was, maybe it was closer than that. But when he went for it there, that's not a play call Kirby Smart ever makes.
No.
That's a play call of a scared head coach.
Yes.
Every time Kirby got close and didn't get in like a 4th and 1, but kicked the field goal against us, my buddy's like, man, I would have went for it there. I looked at him and said, well, he doesn't think he has to gamble like that against us.
Yeah.
Because he knows how good of a team he has. And that's a play call of a man who doesn't think who's scared, who's scared of the team he's playing and doesn't feel secure. And they mentally I think there's a little mental factor of Bama too, where they think they're going to beat Georgia every time.
Yeah, it is. And it is crazy that Kirby Smart, when he sees Alabama, he goes into a shell of himself. He doesn't act the same. He doesn't coach the same. His teams don't play the same. And that one penalty from his defender, did you see that? Where his defender dove into the pile and like literally just they could have called a targeting call after the play. Like what are you doing? What are you doing?
Dude, that was they look dumb. They look dumb. They look scared.
They look dumb.
I mean, that winning streak had to end at some point, but man, that's wild. I still don't think Bama's that great. I really don't. I just think it was a hell of a game by. Do you think? Riddle me this. would have Georgia beaten Alabama if we beat Georgia?
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I thought that there's a sense of like it would have focused them.
We would have pissed them off.
It would have focused them. It would let them know they can't lose a game, but because they had that security of already having or not having a loss, just more favors for Alabama, huh?
Let's talk about Alabama's next opponent, and then let's talk about LSU because I want to get an LSU. Let's get an LSU after this. Alabama's next opponent. I've got a stat for you for LSU. That's gonna open your eyes. So, Alabama's next opponent is Vanderbilt. College game day in Tuscaloosa this upcoming weekend. It's kind of nice. Tennessee. I'm not gonna lie. When Tennessee has a bye, it's one of my favorite weeks because I don't have to worry about anything. I can just sit back, watch college football, and pray for mayhem.
Especially after a win.
Yeah. Vanderbilt goes to Tuscaloosa. What is that going to look like on the field? What do you think is going to happen?
I think Vandy has a shot.
Me too.
I don't think they
But they haven't played anyone yet. No one tough. They're not going to win. No. They haven't played anyone tough yet, though.
I mean, there's like two sides of my heart. Obviously, I have what I'm rooting for here. It's like, I don't want Vandy to think they're actually good. And is Vandy actually good?
Vandy's good. Okay,
they're good. Are they?
You can't say
they're kind of like
they're good. They're good.
They're good.
I'm not saying they're great. They're good. They're a good football team.
Like kind of like how South Carolina was good last year.
Yeah, they're good. Well, We'll see. This week will tell us all we need to know about Vandy if they're for
I think
real.
I think they're the combined record of every team they've beaten is like 1-15 or something.
Yes, I mean it's not
Maybe
good.
different now because I didn't see that stat
Yeah,
since the Utah
yeah,
State game, but
yes, but
which they struggle with a little bit.
well, Utah State scored
First
35.
half.
They scored. Well, they seem to always score the first half. They come out second half, blow them out of the water. But Utah State did score 35 on Vandy's defense, and that's where I think it's going to get Vandy as their defense this year when they go up against a high caliber offense. They haven't seen a high caliber offense all season. Not one. Not one. They've all been shitty. No one's had a high caliber offense against Vandy yet, and we're going to get that
Is
test.
Virginia Tech this still their best win? I mean,
Yeah, if we're going by name brand,
might be
maybe
Utah State actually at this point.
Utah State's not terrible.
Is there
but
a
they're
win
not
I'm
great.
missing? Georgia State.
They beat South Carolina, but South Carolina didn't have
That's right. That's
South
right. Okay.
South
When
Carolina.
they took out the quarterback.
Yeah, and the more you watch South Carolina, the worse that South Carolina is.
I don't know.
Actually is.
Their second one played pretty well, but that's Kentucky.
Yes. So I think Vandy's going to hang in there with Alabama, but then I think the talent gap is just going to overwhelm Vandy, and Vandy's going to end up losing. Let's talk about LSU real quick. Let's talk about LSU. I want to throw out a stat here. Do you remember the press conference when Brian Kelly went off on the reporter when he was asked about the offense?
Yeah, because why would you ask a question about football?
Okay, so I looked up all of LSU's. Yeah, exactly. Brian Kelly is the most cringiest coach, most disliked. Is he the most disliked coach in college football? He's got to be. I dislike him more than almost every coach.
Butch Jones still coaches, but
no, Butch Jones is like I don't hate Butch Jones. I don't dislike Butch Jones.
And who came from Brian Kelly's coaching tree?
Yeah, well, it's true. It's true.
Billy Napier is pretty hated by people in Florida, but
he's not hated.
He's still employed. That's wild. But yeah, I would say it. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Ryan Day is pretty hated, but no. Brian Kelly might be the really. There's something so weird about that dude. I don't like him.
He's icky.
He's like he's that guy you just don't like. He's like, oh, there's that guy Ted or something. And I was like, oh, you're such a douche, dude. You think you're oh my God. It's like one of those guys, it's just like, God, this guy doesn't get it, and so insecure, but doesn't want to seem like it is. He's just, I mean, he's not a fraud. He clearly has hung around this industry long enough.
He's a good coach.
He puts good teams on the field, okay? And he's one of the best murderers out there, okay? I'm sorry, but he did kill a kid, technically. He had a chance to save a life. And they told him this was scary, this is dangerous, you shouldn't be doing this, but he said screw it, and the kid died. So I'm always gonna if you ever say Brian Kelly, I will bring that up.
I mean,
I will bring it up every time. That's wild.
It's relevant. So but check this stat out. I looked up all their games from this season. Here's the stat that I pulled. LSU has scored over 25 points just once this season. And that was against Southeastern Louisiana. They've only scored over 25 points one time all season. All season.
That's
one time.
That's like Iowa looks at that and goes, damn.
Exactly.
Like figure it out.
That stat right there alone, and him getting pissed off at the person asking about their offense. Brian Kelly, you officially are dumb. Your team has not scored over 25 points but one time against a freaking high school team. A community college team. Yes.
You know why he got mad? You know why he got mad? It's true. That's why he got mad.
Weak-minded.
He's just insecure because he knows that's what the case.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this next guy and the next team. I posted this on Twitter last night. James Franklin rolls out the same team with the same results every year. I got a comment from one of our fan base that says, "Oh, yeah, 10 games going to playoffs every year." Buddy, it's the same thing every year. His teams look the exact same every year. There's no difference in his
Yeah.
teams every year. You have the same quarterback, you have the same running backs, you have the same wide receivers. You he does the same thing every. I'm so sick of
He-
the media worshiping this team.
You know,
You can't stack up with the top dogs in your conference. You can't.
I do think they're close.
They're
Am I fair to say that?
no, they're not close. They're
I
going
think
to stay
Oregon's the
the
best team in
same.
the country.
I do too as well. But you're not gonna you're probably not gonna beat Ohio State. You're gonna have two losses. You're gonna have Ohio State and you're gonna have Oregon. You're probably not gonna make it to the playoffs if those two get in.
I
So
uh
it's the
I,
same. It's the same thing. It's just like you watch with your eyes. It's the same team every
I
year.
think a big problem with him is also has been a big problem with Heupel. Heupel, he puts his best results on the field when he has a gamer at QB. A kid who wasn't that highly recruited, but he's just a high IQ player and knows how to win some football games. And but when he goes after the 5-star young kid, doesn't know what he's doing. I do think Faison could be great, but I'm not marking him out or nothing. But when he goes out, but when he has that young guy with a big arm or whatever, it tends to not produce the best results. Penn State was at their best under James Franklin when Mick Sorley was the QB. That guy ran that offense to perfection. They were a tough team to beat. They were fun to watch. You remember Mick Sorley?
And
Trace McSorley?
what happened that year?
They, I think
The
they,
same thing that's going to happen this year.
yeah, I don't think Drew Aller is that great. I really don't. And I think he'd be better off if he kept Bill Pervila, who's balling out right now at Missouri.
I'm
That's,
just saying. Like, do you when you see Penn State ranked in the top 5, do you take that serious? No.
I mean,
The answer is no.
I wouldn't, would you want to, if you told me, or if I told you Tennessee will have a playoff game against them in Happy Valley, would you take that right now?
Yes. I don't
Yeah.
James Franklin is what he is. His teams are what
Yeah.
they are.
Isn't
They're a
that what people? I know I'm devil's advocate here because I don't think he's that great, but he's pretty damn good. Okay,
that's what I'm
um,
saying.
I think you could have said the same thing about Jim Harbaugh, and then Jim Harbaugh did win a title. How he did it, but
James Franklin does the same things that got Mark Rick fired. Does the same things that got Mark Rick fired. He was a 10-win coach every season. But you're just not good enough.
I do think there are. It is way easier to be a coach like that in the Big Ten of all conferences. I think the Big Ten, the fans from the Big Ten do not understand that uh, beating up on Purdue and Maryland doesn't prove anything to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think being a 10-win merchant is way easier in that conference than it is
It
down
is.
south. Because any given Saturday here, you can face like a pissed off Auburn team. I kind of want to talk about Auburn, man.
Let's do it.
Hugh Freeze is, I think, 2-11 in one
He's not.
possession games.
He's not good.
It's insane. They kind of have the talent and everything of all these other teams, but they are never going to get the results because he just finds a way to lose one possession games every single time. If he is playing a team around his range and talent, and he's going to lose by one possession. I mean, if there was a bet you could make, like every Saturday, like, oh, Auburn has a big game, can I just bet they lose by one possession?
Yeah.
Okay. Like not a bet to like I guess that can be the spread a lot of times, but if it's like a 10-point spread,
You're
I would
correct
always
because
adjust it to like 5.
you're correct because they lost A&M 16-10. One
They'll
possession.
they got some fight in them, but and Oklahoma they lost by 7. They did beat Baylor, but that's a team with inferior talent. It's just if you put equal talent on the field,
Who's Auburn's
Auburn's gonna
quarterback?
lose. Jackson Arnold.
He's not good. He's
He
not good.
he's good when he doesn't have to throw it.
Exactly. Which makes him not good.
I don't think he's good. No,
No.
he's just another Drew Aller in my opinion. He's another guy that's like a highly touted dude, but for some reason I do not know what it is. if you take 5 stars and like 5 stars or versus transfers that have already played like 3 years that were under recruited, I'm always going to take the under recruited dude that played 3 years because I don't know why these 5 stars suck.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, Jackson Arnold, Nico, Arch Manning hasn't looked good at all. Let's be
No.
honest.
Mm-mm.
Raiola has looked okay, even though he's just
He's not. I'm not a fan.
he
I don't
is the
care. I
greatest
don't think
Patrick
it.
Mahomes impersonator ever. That
He is
man
not very
should
good.
do that on the Vegas Strip. He
Riola
would be
is.
fantastic at that.
Riola's not good. Riola's not good. Jackson Arnold's not good. Nico sucks. He is awful.
They're gonna go
He is
12.
so bad, and I still love it. Don't care. He is terrible. He got a coach fired, and they still haven't won a game. Like he is not a good football player. His IQ, he has got all the athletic ability in the world. Athletic ability. He sucks at quarterback. He's a terrible quarterback. He can't read a defense. He can't do nothing. So yes, that Jackson Arnold, Nico, Arch Manning class. Holy crap!
Hmm. I
That's a
completely
bad one.
agree. It's a mess of a class. You want to talk about our next opponent? Then Bobby Petrino led Arkansas Razorbacks because this morning Sam Pittman got the knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Your time's up, buddy. Uh, I'm sure he's like, man, I thought they'd be happening 2 years ago because that's what we all thought. But y'all just kept rolling his ass out there. I mean, he's a good guy. I don't hate. I don't think anyone hates Sam Pittman. He's
Hey,
a
what do
good
I
man.
what do I say about good
I
guys?
know, but I don't agree with that always. They're like Butch
If
Jones
you
sucked at everything.
if you lead off a sentence with "he's a great guy," just stop there. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Do
But
you
I
do
do
you
think
start?
he is good. He is good at coaching his position. I will say that.
Okay, I get that, but I'm
He
going to
should
say
not have
that
ever been a head coach. Never should have been a head
no,
coach.
no, no, no. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct on that. But I'm going to go back to my theory of he's a good guy theory. Joey Aguilar, great guy, good guy. Do we ever start off with that with him?
No.
Nope, sure don't. What do we start off with? God, he's good. Followed
You
by
are
he's a
right.
great guy too.
You are correct. You are correct there.
Yes, you don't
Um
ever start off with he's a great guy unless you're going to follow with a but. Marcus Mariota, he's a great guy,
I,
but
I saw a funny post by an Arkansas fan this morning. It was funny to me. Um they showed the play of Nico running out of bounds and then beating us. And someone said this is the worst moment in Arkansas history. Because it meant they got a whole another year of Sam Pittman.
that is pretty good. That is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true, man. The Amaleva family has really screwed the Southeastern Conference. Well, not so much without him. We wouldn't have Joey. So, um,
Last question of the podcast, and it has to do with the upcoming game against Arkansas after the bye week. Tennessee gets a bye week. They get a lot of rest. Good Lord, they need it. Did that game finally pulling out a win like that against an opponent in a stadium like that, when you should have lost every second of that game, you should have lost. There's no way you should have won that game, and you did. Does that bode well for the rest of the season with this team when it comes to we can do this?
I mean,
Going into Arkansas, if they get down, if it's a tough game, I know it's at home, but you
oh God,
just
I hope that's not the case. I'm tired of these tough games, back-to-back overtime games, man. Well, SEC overtime games. I'm done with tight games for a little bit. Okay, I know Oklahoma might not be a cakewalk if Materia's back, but my God, I want to beat the hell out of Arkansas.
but my main thing is my main thing is we lost in overtime against Georgia. We should have lost in overtime against Mississippi State, but we did it. We found a way to get it done with our ball and ass quarterback, Joey Aguilar. He found a way. Joey Aguilar said, I'm not losing this game. Literally, I'm not losing this game. Does that bode well for the rest of the season? That they finally said, enough of this crap. We're going to win this and we're going to do it. Does that bode well for the rest of the season?
Yes. Just late in that game, just start playing "It's Not My Time" by Three Doors Down because it wasn't his time to lose. Okay, we got to stay in this playoff race. We're not losing with a bunch of Clanging going on.
Yeah.
I hate those things. That noise. I just rang it in my for 1 second. It's like an alcoholic hearing a beer open or something, or a former alcoholic. It's I hate those things. Oh my God. How is that legal? But yes, he said that it wasn't his time. It's time to win. And that's the kind of quarterback I want. You know who didn't do that? You know who didn't do that was Nico against Arkansas on the road. He ran out of bounds like a little bitch. And didn't compete and didn't
Mhm.
give his team a shot. And it's just he's not a fraud like that, you know?
Not a
Not to
fraud.
be he's not a
He's a
fraud.
gamer.
He
He's
is
a gamer.
he's a football player.
He's a gamer.
He puts on his pads and he puts on his cleats and he says, I'm gonna do everything I can to get my team to win. He taps that sign, he gives his all for Tennessee. I mean, not to be lame or nothing, but that's legitimately what he does. And that's what
Mhm.
all I can ask for out of any player on that team. Out of any player, that's all I ask for. That I'm paying money, I'm traveling in some cases to go see you play football. And I love you. You play for my school, you represent my state. I want you to fight like hell, like I would. I want you to
Yep.
play with that same spirit and love for this school that I have in the state. And that's what Joey does. Joey, and it, he's not even from here. He's new to the place. He's new to it all. But man, we gave him a shot. We said, you're our guy. And he's not had that said by many big schools.
Mhm.
And man, he's played his ass off. He's taken this shot and ran with it, man.
Austin with the pregame speech. Austin makes you want to run through a wall, man. Look at him go. Look at him
From Bristol to
go.
Memphis, he fights for this state, man.
Look
That's
at
all I
him
can ask
go.
for. It's all you can ask
Austin,
for.
Austin tapping that. It's tapping that Tennessee side of your ones down the tunnel. You're gonna give your all, like I am, for my fan base, for this school. Austin, they need to have you before the Arkansas game, pregame speech.
Oh God, that sounds like a make a wish thing. So is that kid about to die or something? Is that guy about to die or something? Why is he here?
Oh my God! All right, that was a great podcast.
It
Josh
was.
Ellswick from Collectibles and More chimes in. What up? What up, Josh? You called us at the very end of the podcast, but you know what, my friend? We're about to upload it, so you can definitely listen to it. Josh from Collectibles and More. Visit that man's shop in Maryville. Great shop, great guy.
At the Foothills Mall, they got autograph signings all the time.
All the
I'm sure
time.
you'll meet players, but also a great shop. Great guy, Josh is. It's a good place. At the Foothills Mall, you got to stop by.
Yes, 100%. Thanks for chiming in, Josh. But anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Great podcast. Great people chiming in. Great conversation. Great conversing with all of you guys in the comments. This podcast is brought to you by Southern Turf. Good night. Go Vols. God bless. We'll do it again next week. We'll preview Arkansas. Peace out, my friends. Peace out.